Welcome back to a professional match of StarCraft 2. Today it's time for a Terran versus Zerg, a best-of-5 series, where in the top right-hand corner of the first map, we have Team LiquidClem and his opponent in the opposite corner, playing with the blue Zerg drones. It's not actually Clem's little brother, okay? We're looking at none other than LiquudClam's main hatchery. May the best Clem win. If you guys have ever watched any Reynor interviews, you know that the man is a bit of a troll. Besides being the current world champion of StarCraft, he's also a bit of a memester, and he's actually a really funny kid. So, I don't really know exactly why this happened, but for some reason, he recently renamed one of his accounts to LiquidClem instead. And I like it, because, I mean, I've casted this particular matchup, Reynor versus... Well, I'm going to actually call him Clem. I've casted this particular matchup, Clem versus Clem, until I get tired of it anyways. I've casted this particular matchup many times before. Obviously, both of these guys are ridiculously good, and I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened. I did see, like, a little highlight clip, I think about a month or two ago, where... What is the thing you say? Lem, right? That's the Clem tag. I'm Lem, you're Clem. There you go. Clem, Mlam, Clam, Liquid, Lem. It's all a little bit confusing. Anyways, I remember seeing a little highlight clip. Let me actually see if I can find it. Hold up. I looked for like 10 minutes. I can't find it. But I remember there was like Clem versus LiquidClem. I remember there was like a little highlight clip of, I believe, Cyril. I think it was Cyril anyways. Saying the word Clem like clam. So I'm not, I don't know. I don't really know exactly if that's the reason why Reynor decided to go for this particular nickname. Either way, we'll find out exactly what ends up going down right here against this, Whoa. Wait, what? I'm Lem, you're Clem. Wait, PP? Wait. So Reynor requested a pause. Clem says, ah! Then he says, checking Rogue's VOD for the new style. Damn, he made roaches ready. Strong, go. What in the world's going on? This is, by the way, from the LowkoTV Spring Championships. So this is from, like, a legitimate tournament. It's not like these guys are just messing about for you know, peanuts. They're having, you know, an actual tournament to play right here. PP just, you know, want to check out the VOD real quick to see what kind of style Rogue was playing. Yeah, Rogue's been playing a lot of roaches, so... We'll see if that's a good idea right here from Mr. Reynor as well. There's also about 0 chance, by the way, that Reynor hadn't seen those particular games yet. Anyways, this series was played a little while ago. I mean, I've mentioned that before, right? So, especially with StarCraft 2, the way that it is right now. By the way, that Reaper control is so good. I mean, good job keeping most of the Zerglings alive, I suppose. But I think this series was played like a month ago or so. Ooh, dude, that Reaper, that's so good. Ay, gets the tumor, gets the Zergling. That's about the best you can hope for while keeping the Reaper alive. Basically, the point I've made in a previous video, playing with Fire Kid. By the way, just to clarify as well, Reynor is younger than Clem by, like, I think a couple of months. And for some reason, he keeps calling him the kid, which I'm not sure. Anyways, everything's under control. What was I saying? I was saying something. Oh, right. Man, this video has been all over the place already. Just because I'm trying to read what's going on. I'm trying to, like... You did the math, didn't you? He probably did, actually. He knows exactly the amount of shots Brenda over here needs to shoot at the Reaper before, like, the Reaper dies. Kinda wanted to see the Reaper just die randomly, just because I know that would trigger more trash talk. Right, what was I saying? So even though this series was played, I think, like, a month or so ago, I don't think it really matters too much, right? I mean, the current map pool is not going to change until the next season at the very earliest, and obviously the balance is not really going to be updated either. I mean, some people only want to see the most recent games, but I don't think it really matters. Because, I mean, skill level obviously is going up, and if it's, like, you know, a series that's months old, maybe it would be a little bit funky, but in general, I don't think it makes that big of a difference. Let's find out, though. Ooh, can he grab? Okay, he got the Reaper right there as well as the Hellion. That's pretty nice. No remarks this time around, Clam? No? He did go for the Overlord speed as well, by the way, so he scouted that it is going to be a very quick third command center. Now, there's one player in the world that's got a positive win-loss ratio against both Serral and Reynor, and that's Mr. Clem. Clem has been absolutely dominating the top of the ladder, as well as the tournament results. I mean, he hasn't won nearly as much stuff as, for example, Reynor and Serral, but there's no denying that his Terran versus Zerg is best in class, best in the world. I don't think there's anyone debating that right now. You know, he's lost a couple of series here and there, but most of the time in a tournament, if Clem is going up against a Zerg player, he's going to do really well. For some reason, he knows how to play this matchup a little bit better, I guess, than the others. I mean, I guess Terran versus Protoss can be a bit more of a gamble. Terran versus Terran is also a little bit risky from time to time, but it seems like his TVZ is just unbeatable. It's looking ridiculously good. So Terran versus Zerg. Did I say his Terran versus Zerg is unbeatable? I think I said. Terran versus Zerg is a matchup that's very much so about speed and mechanics, right? It's not really super complex. I mean, it's basically the little bugs going up against the little mariners, right? That's basically what it comes down to. It's a matchup of speed and momentum and tempo, and very much so about mechanics. So if you look at the actions per minute that these guys, for example, can play, it's actually kind of nuts. They're both ridiculously fast, and yeah, I think that's mostly what it comes down to. Clem is just super good at the multitasking. His macro is pretty much impeccable. Micro is really good as well. The pacing that he plays it's really something special. I mean, I don't want to fanboy too hard because, you know, every time I do that, someone's gonna call me out in the comment section down below. But the thing is, guys, I'm a bit of a fanboy of high-level StarCraft. Okay, what can I say? Veiling drop coming up right here on the right side of the main base of the Terran player. It is actually kind of funny, man. I've been called a Zerg elitist. I've been called like a Terran elitist. I've been called a Protoss elitist. I'm just a big fan of StarCraft, guys. What can I say? That was really good, by the way, for Clem. Mr. Clem over here inside of the main base only kills 2 SCVs with a bailing drop. It's not too exciting. There's still one bailing in there, though. I like how he's not always trying to go for the Marines. I like how he made the most out of that right there. It is kind of funny, though. Usually, the top-of-the-line players do have multiple accounts that they ladder on. For example, I know Serral's accounts are like Napoleon. I know that, like, Hero Marine has, like, 5 accounts in the top 20 right now on the ladder. Something along those lines, and none of them are called Hero Marine, which is kind of funny, too. But yeah, apparently one of them for Reynor right now is LiquidClem. He grabs the siege tank over there. At the same time, there's a push happening, though, on the other side of the map, and I think this push actually could be a little bit tricky to clean up. Siege tank over there is getting a lot of work done. At the very least, it's going to stay alive. SCVs at the same time are falling, but I think reinforcing Marines will probably be able to hold the choke over there. That means apparently that Clem is now running into Clem's natural expansion. Drones are running for their lives, and without Banelings, this is not going to be easy to clean up. A couple of Hydras are spawning. Banelings are finishing up over on that low ground. Siege tank here getting very ambitious. That one will be killed, but already so many drones have ended up going down here. I think eventually this army here will be pushed back, but at what cost? 18 drones end up going down at the exchange of, well, a similar amount of Marines. Thing is, though, those yellow mining machines are pretty good. Plus, obviously, he ended up dealing quite a lot of damage there. For some reason, he did not actually kill the hatchery, right? This hatchery was ripe for the taking, but he's like, nah, you know what? If he's committing that many of his Zerglings on my side of the map, I'll just run into the natural expansion instead and siege up a tank right over there. Don't know if that's strategically necessarily the best move, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Ooh. Depot wall over at the third base of the Terran player. Didn't actually see the Banelings themselves, just the explosions. But the acid did not go right there on top of the SCVs. So I guess that's all good for our Terran hero here. Concussive shells coming up. +2/+2 is coming up. Marine Marauder, Medevac, Mine, Siege Tank. Ooh, he's going both Mines and Siege Tanks. That's kind of funky. I kind of like it, actually. We don't usually see it that way. Mines and Siege Tanks. Alright. So, Hydroling Bane right now from the Zerg player. I don't know if I like it. I mean, it's good, but also a bit old school. Well, if you can grab a bunch of the units from the back, I guess it might be good. A couple of Banelings right now try to roll at those Marines. Not gonna happen. Just barely not. At the same time, of course. Clem, I mean, he's not just... You guys were really thinking Clem was just gonna multitask one side of the map. and like, you know, macro and do everything at once. No, 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 no. That's not the way it's done. We do need an overseer over here. We really do need an overseer over there. Oh, God. So, Widowmine over here, 11 kills. That one has 4 oh, God, there's a lot of damage here being done. So far, it is Clem in the driver's seat of this game for most of it. I mean, there were a couple of Zerglings over at the third base because Clem has the tendency to send all of his army to the other side of the map. Casually flying a couple of empty medevacs around as well, which I kind of dig, just to, like, stress the multitasking even more. Although, well, I say that. Don't know if it was intentional to actually lose them. I don't think it was. Makes no sense. But regardless, it's stressing the multitasking quite a lot. And breaking this position over here, like, look at the... So this is funky, though. There's, all jokes aside, 6 Widow Mines over here. Yeah, he's just evacuating the base. 6 Widow Mines in a siege tank. I don't know how you fight that. It's not going to be easy to get in there. Zerglings are on the other side of the map as well, but plenty of reinforcements to deal with that this time around. Looks like the Marines, though, ended up going down on the left side of the map, too. But at the very least, I mean, that base is... Yeah, it's going to be absolutely necessary here for Clam. Just because he lost the base on the right. So he's making both siege tanks and Widow Mines still. That's so cool. Obviously, like, there's this awkward moment, right, when you go Widow Mines because you need to get yourself the Drilling Claws upgrade, but you need a tech lab on a factory in order to get it. Oh my god, he even surrounds the Zerglings right now. You need a tech lab on a factory to be able to grab that Drilling Claws upgrade. But apparently, Mr. Clem over here is like, nah, if you just multitask really well, right? It's not a big deal. Sorry, Jimmy. It's a good trait, though. 1 Marine right there for 1 Baneling. I don't think that's too much of a problem. Clem over here is even holding the watchtower right now. Normally, that's the task of the Zerg, so he sees those Banelings coming right up. I mean, I'm assuming he... Oh, God, I don't know if he paid attention. At the same time, though, there's a big push happening over here. SCVs are already running for their lives. I mean, hold position over here. I guess that's something. Let's have a look at this battle over here, though. Yeah, 16 SCVs end up going down, but once again, at the cost of a whole lot of drones. And at this point, I've got a feeling Zerg is just starting to bleed out, right? I mean, Zerg with a smaller economy than a Terran. At this stage of a Terran versus Zerg, when Terran is going +3 upgrades, and Zerg is lacking behind in pretty much every single way, I don't think that this is really something that you can crawl yourself out of, right? Can you? Well, if anyone can do it, I'm gonna do a caster thing. If anyone can do it, it is gonna be Reynor. There's a reason why he's the world champ. It's just that I don't think I've ever seen Clem losing, even against Clam, with an 80 supply deficit. There is a lurker den coming up. My god, those Widowmine drops have been insane. There is a lurker den coming up. There's a Viper as well. There is +2. So maybe eventually Mr. Reynor here can stabilize. There's another base, though, being acquired right now. I mean, even if he does stabilize, we're talking 3 base Zerg going up against 5 base Terran. Yeah, I don't think that's a very good situation to be in. Even target fires down the Banelings here perfectly. I've got a feeling there's going to be a moment here very soon where Terran, yep, sends in the skeletons, right? The rest of the army. Send in the skeletons. This base is not looking too hot. A couple of Hydras are being morphed into lurkers. But game number 1 is gonna go to LiquidClem. Alrighty, game number 2, we find ourselves on Oxide. And actually, oh, there you go. I accidentally messed up the scoreboard. Because apparently it is the other Clem that's currently 1-0 ahead. Anyways, game number 2 is gonna be Oxide. Now, even though Clem in that previous game did not actually play Roach Ravager, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls it off in this particular one. Oxide LE is pretty good for that Roach Ravager shenanigans. Then again, though, do we really ever see Clem losing to... Do we ever see Clem losing? No. I think actually most of the time when Clem has a hard time in a tournament, it's because he's losing like a Terran versus Protoss or a Terran versus Terran. His TVZ is really looking good. Now, I do know of the TSL situation, because I know there's going to be someone that will... no, I haven't actually seen any of the TSL games yet, so there's the Team Liquid Star League. that's currently ongoing. I mean, I might check out a little bit on the final day. But basically, the problem is that I know that they're going to be releasing the replay pack more than likely. And, I mean, there's some top-level replays that will probably be available. And I would much prefer casting those games without knowing the results. So, yeah, I'm not really... Like, it's weird. I'm in a bit of a weird situation as far as that goes. I'm not casting any of the games live, so I may as well just, you know, wait for the replays to be available and check out some of the games from that particular tournament. Reaper gonna be coming up here for the Terran player. Command center, of course, on the low ground. After Steve over here. Steve the SCV, the space construction vehicle. It's gonna, yep, grab some minerals and then... Did you guys know, actually, if you have an SCV that's got 5 minerals in its hands, did you know that the command center actually costs 395 minerals? Okay, no, I'm sorry. That's complete bullshit. I'm sorry. Bad joke. Someone probably believed me, though. Did anyone believe me? I don't really lie in my YouTube videos, I guess. So I never lie, I mean. I've never lied in my life, not even once. Never, ever. Oh, he's once again going with the double drone. Huh. Interesting place, Clem. This is going to allow him a pretty quick Zergling speed if he wants to, but also apparently a third base. What's awkward about it, though, is that normally you kind of delay that Overlord, so he still got the Overlord. And yeah, he goes link speed first. Dude, Reaper control... Clem's Reaper control really is... It's something special. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's so ridiculous. I don't think I see this man really... Like, I've seen him lose the Reaper a couple of times, but he is so aggressive with it, and he always seems to get some sort of value out of it. I mean, killing one Zergling, don't get me wrong, it's definitely not something to write home about, but just the way... Like, you know, in the previous game, you got a Zergling and a drone... Or, sorry, a tumor. Like, a tumor is fantastic. It really does hurt the Zerg player quite a lot. Keeping it alive, though, I don't think he actually... Okay, I think losing the Reaper for a creep tumor is not worth it. Losing the Reaper for a drone is also not worth it, but free damage is free damage, right? And this is obviously Clem he's playing against, right? Makes you wonder what he could do against, like, a weaker... Like, if Clem would play against me, I'm pretty sure I would lose half a mineral line worth, okay? Oh, God. See? No. Yo, oh, my God. OV speed and link speed. Third command center once again here for Clem. I mean... Clem is going to find out about this very soon. Clem apparently has been favoring that quick OV speed opener. Can't blame him. It's pretty good if you know exactly what it is you need to be looking for. So double Overlord, they fly in right now. They're going to check out the gases. Second gas. This is a bit of a cheeky one. I mean, Terran players have started doing this a lot. But back in the day, it was common to take your second gas instead of your main base. I know, this is crazy. But back in the day, people used to see this, where one gas was mining in the natural, and they were like, oh, it's gonna be a battlecruiser opener, right? Because usually with a battlecruiser opener, you need a quick third gas. Turns out if you just hide the second gas instead of... Ooh, can he just... Really? No, it's too ambitious. Maybe you could have, though. Probably not. Losing the 2 Hellions is not worth it for 2 drones. I don't think so. Anyways. Yeah, seeing the third gas in the natural so quickly was sometimes an indication that it was going to be battlecruiser play. Not happening, though, in this particular game, because the second gas was acquired inside of the natural. It's going to be a Banshee opener here. I like it. As I've said many times before, I think Banshees are a really good follow-up here. Not that Zerg is likely to go for a Roach push after going for that Overlord speed opener, but it's still just a nice way of opening up. And he's also got the Raven. I actually missed the Raven there on the production tab, but I'm a big fan of the Raven opener, man. Ravens... They have auto turrets, right? They've got the interference matrix. They got the anti-armor missile. But I like it in this matchup quite a lot because of the auto turret, because it can do actually a bunch of damage, but also because it's a detector, so you can see the creep tumor. Look, there it is. I mean, I saw it. Clem saw it too, for what it's worth. It's a little bit awkward. Yeah, okay. The Hellions drove by it, right? I guess he was busy looking on the, not on the minimap at the very least. Look at that freaking auto turret over there, man. It's dealing so much damage. Auto turrets actually, like, they're timed, right? So they will disappear after a little while. All of the kills that it makes will go on the Raven. So, you know, this Raven apparently is now good. It's responsible for 2 kills. Oh my god, really? Is he gonna just YOLO into the mineral line? I mean, he killed quite a lot of Zerglings. Zerglings are not coming up until a little while later. Gonna drive into the main base instead. Drones are gonna scatter over here too. Nice Evo chamber blocks though by Clem. And this is why people don't really do Hellion run-bys anymore at the pro level. I mean, don't get me wrong, that was a lot of panic and was by no means perfect Zerg defense, but in the end, we still see 10 Hellions going down right here at the exchange of 5 drones. Is that worth it? I mean, some lost mining time and all that as well. Probably not. It's gonna make follow-up pushes much easier to defend. Maybe if this Banshee would have gone into the base at the same time. I think that probably was the plan originally. Raven is still alive, right? Yeah, Raven is still alive, so it's all good. It's a bit of a late Banshee. Apparently not even concerned right now about needing any detection at this point. Oh, God. Alright. Start Evo chamber did finish, so I guess effectively 6 drones were killed. Oh, no, he does start up spores. I was gonna say. Not starting up any spores against the Banshee can be a disaster, man. Even if it's only 1 Banshee, it can still deal a lot of damage. Alright. Here's the spring cleaning squad. Don't need a scan, dude, because you have the freaking Raven! I think Ravens are gonna be standard at some point in this meta, okay? They're already becoming more popular. I've been saying for years that it's probably not a bad idea if you can afford it early on. The main problem why you don't want to get it is because it's expensive and it's, you know, easily lost. But it's so good. It's so good, man. This Raven, I mean, it's now responsible for killing half a dozen creep tumors and 4 Zerglings. Or, yeah, 4 Zerglings, I guess, but also a couple auto turrets. It's not bad at all, dude. The Raven by itself can even kill creep tumors, okay? Like, yeah, look at the, yes! There you go. If you target that one down too, the second one will also get popped. Because that's the one inside. Dude, look at this. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Don't tell me, Terran players, that it's not possible and you can't afford it. I don't believe it, dude. That's always the main issue. It's like too expensive, blah, 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 blah. Clem literally playing a triple command center opener while still going Raven into Banshee. That was so good, right? That was so good. Alright. Anyhow. It's, how do you say that? Water under the bridge? Water under the bridge, I guess, if you don't, you know, actually leverage it to an advantage. You can see right here, Clem is still spreading the creep like a champ. Eventually, the Raven does go down. Auto turret over here will still grab a drone, grab a Zergling, another Zergling, another Zergling, another Zergling. Actually, I don't think that other Zergling at the last one I said was probably didn't count. And even if you keep it alive, right? I'm just to like double down real quick on my on my Raven situation. Even if you keep it alive, anti-armor missile on Hydralisks or Lurkers, yes, please. Seems really good to me, man. Oh god, only 1 tank right now sieged up. This is a bit awkward. There's a lot of units over there. Love that he brought one of the siege tanks to the high ground, actually. Ay, Clem. Clem, you don't understand. You were supposed to be caught off guard here, okay? Clem was running at your army. You were supposed to be caught off guard. I think he is overextending a little bit. Siege tank on the high ground is having a field day, though. 17 kills. Dude, look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's still firing. 26 kills. Look, this one's a noob, man. This is the real OG siege tank right over here. I suggest we don't look anything else but this siege tank from here on out. Okay, fine. I'll zoom out. Can we? No, okay, fine. Bring him to the hero siege tank. There's a hero widow mine now burrowed over here too. Same time, couple of banelings running towards, okay, the mineral line. Nice move here by Reynor. I mean, Clem. Base in the top left-hand corner will be denied as well by Clem. LiquudClem over here. Dude's such a noob. Having the Marines in the front. Everyone knows the Marauders are the tanks of this party. Wow. Hero Siege Tank! There it is, 27. Okay, well, I was going to shout 28, but... Kill steals. Medevacts are mostly out of energy, by the way, so this little army over here is not going to do too hot. This time around, the Lurker transition is going to come up at a more reasonable time for Clem. So at the very least, he's going to be able to get himself, you know, a little bit of a break. I think that's the real strength of this kind of, you know, transition. Clem very much so plays a tempo-based army, right? So he, like, piles on the pressure and then eventually someone dies, right? They create, like, an opportunity for the Zerg player to breathe for a bit because it's very difficult to break this. Well, I mean, I say that. That's siege tank position over there is so nice as well. Okay, he does need a scan, obviously, if he wants to see them. Well, got plenty of those available at this stage in the game. Man, this is not looking good for the Zerg. Terran's going straight into 3-3. Ghosts are being produced as well. So this is not even really an army that's supposed to counter the Lurkers very well. Ghosts are usually the real MVPs. I like, by the way, that... No, not the hero! No! No! Anyone but him! Have mercy! Oh. I like, by the way, that you know, Clem showed some restraint and didn't actually call himself Liquid. Because Liquid, obviously, is an esports organization, right? A very important one. So he would probably catch some, you know, some flag. There you go. He would catch some flag. There you go. Family friendly. He would probably get in some trouble if he would have gone with LiquudClam. But, yeah. No, you're not the hero siege tank. You're not even in the right place. I don't like you. You're a wannabe. You look alike, but you're not the same thing. Yeah, those units don't have a whole lot of health because he's been harassing with them for so long. Okay, so Clem at this point, though, is maxed out. Hydra Lurker, Viper, Ling, Bane seems to be the majority of the army. Vipers are gathering energy. +3/+3 is coming up. Okay, so we're getting to the point that the Zerg player wants to be in, right? It's taken him like 13.5 minutes, but we're almost there. Problem is that this is not really like a mid-game Terran army anymore. This is now becoming a much more sophisticated one, with 3-3 finishing up here for the Terran player. Ghosts added into the mix as well. Obviously, their snipe ability is phenomenal. Once again, though, a couple of Zerglings apparently this time around are running by. And then also a couple of Lurkers. Lurkers very powerful in this particular spot. Link's derping around a little bit, not getting nearly as many kills actually as I thought they were going to. At the same time, though, the Lurkers are getting into a position close to the planetary fortress in the bottom right corner, and this base will definitely get poked away at. Okay, nicely done right there by Clem. At the same time, apparently there was some harassment on the left, but that one didn't do much. Lurkers over here will be killed. And even though these Marines were low HP earlier, they are going to be just fine again going forward. 21 SCVs, though, end up going down. A couple of drones in retaliation here as well by Clem. I was going to say Clem, but then Clem. Look, as a foreigner, it's extra difficult, okay? Not a native English speaker, okay? It's this is a lot of ghosts. How many ghosts are we talking right now? 7 Lurkers, 12 ghosts. Most of the... Oh, God. Most of the Zerg army seems to be over at the 3rd base of the Terran player. This base will not be looking too hot. Nope, it's going to get picked up. I think that this one may very well be killed as well, but obviously Terran structures can fly. Planetary Fortress has finished right now at the 9 o'clock. Snipe over there. Okay, nicely done right there by Clem. Viper ends up going down. Planetary Fortress has also fallen. Bottom right-hand corner is spotted here by a couple of Marines that are pretending to be Marines. Fake Marines confirmed. Can we knock down the rocks? I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I know it's irrelevant at this stage in the game, but, you know, in general. Oh, a couple of siege tanks found in the middle of nowhere. Still had a lot of kills on them, though. Okay. I think what Clem is trying to do right now is trying to create like a big 360 surround, and he's gonna get it here for the most part. A lot of this Terran army will be forced to evacuate, but they leave inside of the planes. Hydra's trying to kill a couple of those medevacs, but it's not happening. 19 drones end up going down here. Base in the bottom right-hand corner is gone by a couple of Zerglings. Marines are gunning down the expansion in the top left, and they will. And of course, Clem is paying attention and picks up the Marines as well. At the same time, the army over here, once more, gonna force a council on one of these bases. And now, big picture, we're 3-base Zerg going up against, I mean, like 5-base Terran, right? Don't get me wrong, this is not a healthy Terran. It's not really looking that hot. Planetary is not acquired over on this side of the map either. Okay. I feel like every time I look at these kind of battles, it's like Clem that comes out ahead of it ever so slightly. And I'm not even entirely sure what went wrong here for Clem. Random widow mines burrowed all over the map, dealing a lot of deeps. Planetary Fortress, not done morphing in yet. Parasitic Bomb right here as well, but he picks up the medevac right away. Snipe also connected right there with the Viper that was responsible for that Parasitic Bomb. So even though this medevac is going to have to make the fly of shame all the way towards the right side, doesn't really matter all too much because, I mean, the Viper's gone and the medevac still lives. It's a good trait. Zerglings want to go in for a run by over here, but there's a planetary at that base too, as well as a siege tank. This is not looking too exciting, though, here for our Terran player, although apparently there's a lot of ghosts on the back of that. Snipes do connect on a bunch of those lurkers, okay? A few more will end up getting picked off. Nicely done right there by Clem. Zerglings, though, over at the third base of the Terran player. Man, these guys are so good. It's ridiculous. Ooh, this kind of confirms the position of one of the ghosts. Or, sorry, one of the lurkers. Ghosts are trying their very best. Infestors are coming up right now as well for Reynor, which I like. Queens over here trying their best to get some transfusions in, but it's not quite enough, it seems. I mean, at least the lurkers will live for a little bit longer, but the queens end up going down. Okay, that one's super dead. A little bit of an overkill on that one. Infestors, with their fungal growth ability, obviously can deal a lot of damage, but, I mean... Enhanced shockwaves on these ghosts is pretty nice as well. Ooh, there's the fungal. Nice fungal, but no real follow-up available at this point, other than a couple of those... Yeah, a couple of those lurkers. Clem is slowly dismantling the Zerg, and so far it's going really well for him. Alrighty. Next up, we find ourselves on Lightshade. So no Roach Ravager play right there by Clem. Kinda curious. I feel like Roach Ravager is always a good choice to go for. But, yeah, against someone of the caliber of Clem, I guess it's... I guess it's hard to pull off. I don't really know exactly what kills Clem at this point, man. It seems like you have to outplay him, right? I actually really like Terran versus Zerg. Like, it kind of reminds me of, like, Orcs versus Humans, you know? Like, just the classic... If you think of a game of StarCraft, that's probably what you think of, right? Maybe. I don't know. That's what I think of, anyways. But yeah, like, I guess you just gotta outplay him, but... Despite Reynor's best efforts so far, it seems like Clem is just a little bit faster, a little bit better, a little bit more refined. It is what it is. Alright. No cheekiness this time around either, by the way. Just a good old hatch. Probably into a gas geyser at 18. Then a spawning pool. In the meantime, on the other side of the map, we have the gas just now finishing up. Barracks here will finish soon as well. That means that after this SCV, we're gonna go straight into the orbital command. And of course, that SCV. It's gonna go towards the low ground. It's gonna mine once more 5 minerals, reducing the... No, it's not reducing the cost of the planet, or of the... of the command center. It's gonna start the command center right here once it reaches 400 minerals. And the SCV that was responsible for building the barracks is going to scout on ahead to make sure that it's safe for that Reaper to move across. So what the Terran player is looking for right now with this SCV is just whether or not there's a hatchery. That's like the most important thing. So if he sees right here, okay, there's a hatch. He needs to go home again. The timing of this hatchery and seeing how far it is done indicates here to Clem that it is going to be a hatch first. Therefore, this Reaper doesn't have to stay at home against a couple of pesky Zerglings. It's a very small move. One that's actually easily forgotten by lower level players. But if it's like a 16 pool into a 17 hatch and Zerg runs a couple Zerglings, you know, like this around the map, they could basically bypass the Reaper entirely if the SCV scout is skipped. You can lose the SCV that's building the command center, and at that point, I mean, not only do you obviously have your expansion delayed, but you also freaking like hit a supply block. Oh god. Clem, you make Reapers look so OP, man. Luckily for you, no one else seems to be doing it that, like, to this extreme level. Which is kind of funny, actually, because Bjorn is the one that got the Reaper. Is he? No! Oh, God! Man, that's so... Like, that's... Oh. My Zerg heart hurts. 3 kills? So a Tumor, a Drone, and a Zergling. The holy trinity of Zerg early game right there, man. Very nice. Awesome moves right there by Clem. And this is bad for Reynor right from the get-go. No. That's too ambitious. He thought about it, but yeah. Made the executive decision right there not to get it. He didn't know where the second queen was. If you kill 2 Tumors, I think at that point Zerg is just going to go for an all-in. Okay, that's what I would do anyway. So what exactly went wrong for Reynor in those previous couple of games? Nothing like... Not like one thing, I guess. I do like the fact that he's skipping the Overlord speed here. I mean, okay, so I like Overlord speed because I know, like in some cases I say I really like it, and in other cases I'm like I wish he skipped it. I think overall it's good if you're better than your opponent. So if you are, you know, going up against someone you think you're better as, right, or you know you're gonna be at a bit of a higher level. Scouting out exactly what they're doing without being caught off guard at all is fantastic, right? However, if you want to win against someone who seems to have your number, cutting a corner is probably what you want to aim for instead. So you cut one corner, it's only 100 minerals, or what is it, 75 minerals, 75 gas, something like that. No, is it 100 minerals, 100? I mean, they messed around with the values for a while. I don't really open up a lot of Overlord speed, as you may have already guessed here. Anyways. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, like, if you are having a hard time, you probably want to cut a couple corners. Maybe you're going to be ever so slightly more at risk of early game pressure, but I mean, the Overlord just now, the slow Overlord scout that is, still saw pretty much everything that needs to be seen. You don't know if there's an armory hiding over here. You don't know if there's going to be a freaking, I don't know, fusion core hiding there as well. Not very meta right now, but definitely something that can happen, right? Love the way that he's hiding in the tall grass over here. If Zerglings would have tried to go for a run-by, they would have all died. Pretty much instant game over, because at that point, Clem is going to just drive into the mineral line. This time around, we're also going Spire. Okay. Mutiling Bane. Very late Baneling Nest. Very late Baneling Nest. But Mutiling Bane right here. For Reynor. This will probably be scouted as well. Maybe. He hasn't seen Evos. He hasn't seen, like, any tech here either. He's seen the timing, I guess, of the lair. So I don't know exactly when he saw that, but maybe that's gonna give him all the info he really needs. A couple of Banshees instead of the main base. Queen's waiting, though. Should be okay. Drone that was heading on over to the 4th base got sniped. Brenda and Karen sleeping on the job. And this is what I mean, dude. It's just like, it's very small moves, but the positioning here for Clem is just a little bit better, right? Couple drones here, couple drones there. Hellions right now drive into the natural expansion. A creep tumor here, a creep tumor there. 10 drones go down. Hellions get a full scout off as well. Mutas right now are supposed to be built. Reynor saved up a lot of money here to try and make a bunch of them, but he's forced to make and spend a bunch of those larvae as well as Zerglings. Larvae as well as resources on Zerglings, just because otherwise... Oh, no. No. Yeah, no, that was supposed to all be spent on Mutas. And right now, 21 drones end up going down, which is pretty good. Clem scouted the Spire. He's like, you know what I need? 2 Medivacs. Go forth, my children. Kill the dirty Zergs. Mutas are gonna try and fly across. They now go back home. They have to make the fly of shame. A little bit of indecisiveness right over there. Decides to fly towards the 3rd base here of the Terran player regardless. Grabs one of the things. No missile turret, interestingly enough. So maybe Clem here was banking that Clem was gonna fly those Mutas back home. Bailing speed obviously incredibly late, right? Only just now starting up. So that's not gonna really help him out too much in follow-up pushes. Reinforcing Marines are gonna be meant to clean all of this up. A couple of siege tanks apparently also sent towards the main base. Maybe this is mostly just for safety so they don't get killed too easily. Okay. Problem is, this is only a handful of, like, this very small group of Mutas is getting a lot of work done. Imagine it would have been, like, twice as many, a little bit quicker as well, if those Hellions were dealt with well, right? Okay, maybe not twice as many, but it would have been a couple more. Okay, so, this time around, we're going into the mid-game with Clem slightly ahead. And Zerg playing Mutaling Bane rather than Hydraling Bane into Lurker. Mutaling Bane is good. It's just also much harder to play and much easier to mess up. So what I mean with that is, like, say for example, there's a couple Widow Mines or a Thor, right? Which is coming up right now. And you don't have your Mutas in the right spot at the right time or split up properly. They will basically all die in like 1 or 2 hits. For Clem, not much changes. He's probably gonna play less siege tanks and more Widow Mines. Bailing speed is done, by the way. Muta's over here in the back. Okay, poking and prodding. Killing reinforcements. Killing a siege tank as well. Creep over here is slowly being pushed back. Clem's still pushing forward. Mutas are waiting in the center of the map for any reinforcements that might be heading this way, but they're not. Base is starting to take a lot of damage. He can't really afford to lose this expansion, though, because it's already 4 base Terran as well. Okay. Mutas, Lings, and Banes have come up. There's Widow Mines here, too. This is going to be an engagement that Clem does... Oh, okay, sorry. Clam does engage with. Cleans it up. For the most part. Still quite a few units over here available. Medivacs being targeted down here, too. A couple of Mutas end up going down. Nice target firing here by Clem. If he grabs all of the Medivacs, maybe this could still be salvaged. 3 Medivacs sneak out. Nice move right there as well, by the way. Like, the one Medivac heading on over in this direction, creating a distraction. I really love it. Okay. So normally this is Zerg playing off of 80 plus workers. In this particular case, we have 80 SCVs for Terran. A couple of Widow Mines over here pretending like this base is undefended and that there's no missile turret there. I mean, there was no missile turret, but... A couple of Widow memes still do quite well. Bailings, okay, just rolling into the 3rd. Depot gets cancelled and Clem runs the workers. Nicely done. At the same time, the push over here is getting quite a lot of damage in as well, it seems. There's 2 Thors, which is a lot. Takes 4 of those Javelin missiles to one-shot the Mutas. So, you know, 2 shots of the Thors. We'll be able to get rid of the Mutas. Mutas, though, on the other side of the map. There are apparently enough of them right now to go after the missile turrets as well. Okay, nicely done right there by Reynor. The problem is, right, like, I'm looking at this, and, like, even though it's all going decently well for Reynor, he doesn't have the eco, he doesn't have the creep spread, he doesn't have the bases, he doesn't have the upgrades. He doesn't really have a whole lot of things going for him here. Right? And it's... Unless Clem makes a big mistake... Oh. Unless Clem makes a big mistake, I don't really see exactly what Reynor can do to grab himself a victory here. Well, I guess one way in which you can do it is by rolling, you know, Banelings into mineral lines and hoping for the best. Even that wasn't a very efficient trade. He hasn't even seen the base here on the left side. I mean, he should know that it's up, I suppose. He should know. Sees there's a new command center was just starting up as well, but once again, Clem is moving across the map. There are a couple of Widow Mines over here, okay. Oh god! Nicely done by Clem, positioning that really cleverly. Not a whole lot of anti-muta over here, not a whole lot of splash damage in general. I mean, I guess the Thors, Marines are also pretty good, actually. Quite a lot of anti, but no splash damage, other than the Thor's Javelin missiles, I guess. Not a whole lot of Widow Mines, basically what I'm trying to say with a lot of words. So he needs to be a bit careful. Ling Bane can do very well against this type of army, and if this is lost for free, that's not what you're looking for. Here we go, actually. Ooh. The Thors do get picked up. Oh, God. They get picked up and drop down again. Target firing the Thors right there on the Mutas while simultaneously splitting the Marines and Marauders against the Banelings and Zerglings. This was not actually the trait that I think the Terran player was looking for. The problem is there's a whole lot more. Problem for the Zerg, that is, coming from that. Every time I look back, I'm like, okay, how many bases? Okay, he's got actually one more base that I thought he would have at this point. Every time I look back on the minimap, there's like another base that has been acquired by the Terran. Yeah, man. Clem is looking so strong. Like, this is the world champion of StarCraft over here, man. I have casted so many series of Reynor just absolutely dominating his opponents. I remember that one series that I casted between him and I think Gong Fu Banda, where it kind of felt like Reynor was just toying with his opponent all of the time, but in this series, at the very least, Clem is just looking a little bit better. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. But for now, thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile. And I'll see you once again in the next one.